Chet McCaffrey for The Athletic with a story on Alex Bregman and his impact on the Red Sox over the last month, maybe more than that, over the course of the season. He is their hero. He is their leader. She wrote that Alex Bregman on the top step of the dugout and often positioned right next to manager Alex Cora has something urgent to say during at-bats of his teammates. Trevor Story is quoted saying, when I'm in an at-bat, during the at-bat, he's yelling instructions to everybody, not just me. He's whistled at me a few times. I know exactly what he's going to say. Outfielder Ceddanne Rafaela, who's 989 OPS over the last 38 games, has coincided with cage work.
Oh, there we go.
He did with Bregman just over a month ago. He hears Bregman's voice in his head when he steps to the plate.
Bregman goes, Jim Rice, get out of here.
Yeah.
Quote, every time he talks to me, I just go do what he says and something good happens, said the 24-year-old. Pop quizzes on starting pitchers, iPads with video of at-bats at the ready, instructions shouted from the dugout steps. Even though he's been injured for the better part of the last 7 weeks, Bregman is always focused on the game and how to help his teammates win. Now, we laugh about this, right? A little bit, because it's kind of funny. Is that not awesome, what he's doing? Is this not what you would want your manager and hitting coach and positional coaches and your game planning, what the hell's Veritek's title now?
Game planning coordinator.
Game planning coordinator? Is that what you want those guys to do? Isn't that what you effing pay those guys to do? If I'm John Henry and I read this story, I say, yeah, you know what? I have to extend Bregman. Number one, we got to keep this guy. He can't go anywhere. And why am I paying all you guys? Why is he doing all of your jobs?
Right, the cage work with Bregman is what unlocked it, but the cage work with Pete Fatsi did nothing to the table, brought nothing to the table there. Yeah,
useless.
Or being hard on the young guys and making sure they're doing their studying the night before so they're ready to come into the game. Like, shouldn't that be reinforced as something that is just assumed would happen? It takes someone like Alex Bregman coming in and testing them to do that.
Jaron Duran said this. It's like when you're in a movie theater. You're like, shut up. Bregman is talking. Let's hear what he has to say. Command of the room, positive impact on young players, in the cage, coaching guys up to become better hitters, in the middle of at-bats, shouting instructions to the point where his instructions are now ingrained in them, and they hear his voice in his head. When was the last actual paid coach or manager of this team that had that kind of impact on players? And I'll tell you who it isn't. It isn't Alex Cora. So give Bregman the credit because he deserves it. He does.
Does that mean you're going to extend
this
him now?
story is hysterical because you're like, why does a player have to be doing all these things? Why is he the guy who has to do all of this? Oh my God. And the way they talk about him, you're like, this is like a weird obsession they all have with him. No, this is just a great leader. They all want to follow whatever it is he's telling them to do, and he's had a massive positive impact on this team. Marcelo Meyer, another young player, said, he's like a coach, really. I can't really say enough of how much he's helped me, not only me and Roman, but the whole team. He has people coming in early and watching film, whether that's me, Duran, or whoever it may be, and I think he just sees the game at a super advanced level compared to most people, compared to like our actual coaches.
Yeah.
That's me adding that in. He didn't say it.
No, that wasn't a part of
that
the
wasn't
quote,
a,
no.
That wasn't a Meyer quote. That was a Beatle quote.
It's wild to think, though, that he went up to Trevor Story before that, game against Chase Burns, Cincinnati, and like, listen, your entire plan, what you're doing, it stinks. Let me tell you what to actually do, and then it works. It's like, all right, it takes Bregman coming in to tell another guy, a veteran, that you need to alter something. I would kind of hope that Pete Fatsi would be there and be like, yeah, this isn't going to we're not going to approach it this way. Do it a little differently. But it makes sense why Trevor Story hasn't turned into this version of himself until the last couple months.
This part you're referencing is that Trevor Story remembered a 2-for-4 day against Chase Burns in Cincinnati in June when Bregman challenged the plan Story had prepared before the game. Story said Bregman reminded him, it's not always one swing that fits all. I think sometimes you got to pull different clubs from your bag. I hadn't thought about it that way before. Rob Refschneider, 10-year vet in the bigs, says he appreciates Bregman keeping players on their toes. Quote, he'll go up to somebody like, hey, how do you think the starter's going to throw to you today? And he'll be like, nope, wrong. And yeah, okay, that's right. It's super intense, but it makes guys feel like there's a test every day. So let me throw another word out there for Bregman. He's holding players accountable. There's accountability, there's leadership, there's culture, there's all of it. This guy is doing everything they did not have on this team a year ago or 2 years ago. And the thing that Devers was never going to be, by the way.
Yeah.
And I always
Well,
told you that.
no.
That's
But he
never
could hit.
who he was.
Yeah.
But he could mash. And so that was a piece you didn't have to worry about. But this story about Bregman, I think is all real. And these players, what they're saying about him is all real, which has me, if I'm the owner, saying, why does he have to do all this? I mean, I love it. It's great. Thank you. You're helping us win games. You're helping us develop young players. Why is it that everybody else in this organization is incapable of doing it? So, yeah, am I extending him? Not the 6 years and 250, but if they have to lock him up now to make sure there's no chance he walks next year, I don't know. I mean, this kind of impact.
Why? Because you need the manager to stay, essentially, the player manager to still be in the clubhouse.
Player manager Alex Bregman. Let him make out the lineup card a few times. See how it goes. I don't know. I mean, you Milligan's laughing at me. It's not that crazy of a thought.
I do think it's funny, by the way. We read all these stories about the new individualized hitting plans that they're going over and all of this stuff. And now you have quizzes with Alex Bregman where after those individualized meetings, he's like, no, that's actually wrong. That's not how they're going to attack you. Awesome. Bang up job by the staff there for sure.
It's a credit to him, too, that he's got a bunch of 20-somethings not tuning him out after he does stuff like
What
that,
about
too.
the 32-year-old in Trevor Story, the guy that's older than Bregman?
Crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between a guy who has like a true natural feel for hitting versus Trevor Story's an athlete. Like when you watch him play, it's not a guy with great feel at the plate. Alex Bregman's a baseball savant. He's a junkie. I think that's why you get some of those Pedroia comps because it feels that way where everyone wants to kind of follow him into war. And I think that's why if you extend 2 more years onto his deal, if you can work that out, and it doesn't seem like the Red Sox are nervous about it one bit, which surprises me. I thought they'd be a little bit more aggressive, but I think they already know how Bregman feels about it here. Hell, when he got introduced for the All-Star game, Alex Cora was telling him, they're talking, Cora's saying how much he loves Boston and has already adopted the city. I think for Bregman, it's going to be post-Story, post-Yoshida. You can eat a couple of those years if they're not the best because he has a profile that will age well, and the impact on Roman, Marcelo, Sadan, this young core, it will go well beyond Alex Bregman's contract.
It has been 39 years since we've had a player manager in baseball. Far too long. Far too long.
Manny in 2014 in AAA, right? With the Cubs, he was one of
Is
those.
that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
He
was
was
the
the
same thing.
It was a AAA team that let him be the manager?
Yeah, he was the hitting instructor.
Okay,
he was like
no,
a hitting
yeah.
assistant.
He wasn't the manager.
But they let him play. He was doing both. It was an actual player-coach role.
39 years. It used to be a common occurrence.
Manny's probably not the comp we want to be aiming for with Alex Bregman as the player manager, but yeah, that's not bad.
Oh, man. Joe Torre did it for a year with the Mets. That was his first time managing, right? In the Mets in the 70s. There you go. So there's one. The last one was, of course, Pete Rose. Pete Rose was the last one.
That worked out well. Yeah, that was good.
There was a slight issue there. Not sure who was calling the shots when he was posting the lineup
He
every
had
day.
the final call on that. Yeah.
He didn't want to pay for it with his life. 617-779-0985. Bregman's impact has been measurable in wins. They've won 10 straight, but I think immeasurable in terms of what he's making up for. What this team lacks in accountability and leadership and coaching with the people who are actually paid to do it. Well, he's picking up the slack. And so as much as we laugh about it, it's legit, man. His impact on the team cannot be discounted and must be at the forefront of the conversation for why they have bounced back the way they have. It has to be.